Fumimaro Konoe was brought into the world in Tokyo on 12 October 1891 to the conspicuous Konoe family, one of the principal parts of the old Fujiwara group. This made the Konoe top of the most renowned and most noteworthy positioning honorable house in the domain. They had first become autonomous of the Fujiwara in the 12th hundred years, when Minamoto no Yoritomo isolated the Fujiwara into the 5 official houses, go-sekke. Japanese antiquarian Eri Hotta portrayed the Konoe as first among the go-sekke. Fumimaro would be its 29th chief. While the typical level of Japanese individuals around then was around 160 cm 5 ft 3 in, Konoe was north of 180 cm 5 ft 11 in tall. Konoe's dad, Atsumaro, had been politically dynamic, having coordinated the Counter-Russia Society in 1903. Fumimaro's mom passed on soon after his introduction to the world. His dad then, at that point, wedded her more youthful sister. Fumimaro was deluded into thinking she was his genuine mother, and figured out reality when he was 12 years of age after his dad's passing. Fumimaro acquired family obligation when his dad kicked the bucket, because of the monetary help of the Seibatsu Sumitomo, which he got all through his profession, and the sale of Fujiwara legacies. The family had the option to become dissolvable. Fumimaro was not by any means the only capable individual from his loved ones. His more youthful sibling Hidemaro Konoe later turned into an ensemble director and established an HK orchestra symphony. At Kyoto Majestic College, Fumimaro concentrated on communism, interpreting Oscar Wilde's The Spirit of Man Under Communism into Japanese. There, he met genre Senji Kinmoshi and turned into his protege. After graduation, Fumimaro went to Senji for guidance about beginning a political vocation, and worked momentarily in the home service prior to going with his tutor to Versailles as a component of the Japanese Harmony designation. On the whole, Konoe followed through with 2 jobs. With Kiku, one of a few geisha darlings in his day-to-day existence, he fathered an ill-conceived child. 10. And in December 1918, he likewise distributed a paper named Reject the Somewhat English-American-Focused Harmony. In this article, he contended that Western popular governments were supporting vote-based system, harmony, and self-assurance just dishonestly, while really sabotaging those goals through racially oppressive colonialism. He went after the class of countries as a work to regulate the norm, pilgrim authority by the Western powers following an interpretation by American columnist Thomas Franklin Fairfax Millard. Senji composed a reply in his diary. Millard's survey of the Far East. Senji considered Konoe's composing foolish. However, after it turned out to be globally perused, Konoe was welcomed to supper by Sun Yat-sen. Sun appreciated Japan's speedy modernization. At the supper, they examined skillet Asian patriotism. During the Paris Harmony gathering, Konoe was one of the Japanese ambassadors who proposed the racial uniformity proposition for the agreement of the class of countries. At the point when the racial balance statement came up before the Board of Trustees, it got the help of Japan, France, Serbia, Greece, Italy, Brazil, Czechoslovakia, and China. Notwithstanding, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson upset the vote, announcing that the condition required consistent help. Konoe took the dismissal of the racial balance statement severely, considering it to be an embarrassment of Japan. Upon his revisitation of Japan, he distributed a booklet where he portrayed his movements to France, Britain and America, how he was rankled by rising enemy of Japanese opinion there, and how government strategy in the US victimized Japanese migration. He likewise depicted China as an Opponent to Japan in global relations. Notwithstanding his tutelage under the liberal inclining Shinji Kinmoshi, his investigation of communism at college, and his help of all-inclusive testimonial, he appeared to have had a problematic fascination with one-party rule, which infuriated and frightened the maturing genre. At an outfit party before Shinji's little girl was hitched in 1937, he was accounted for to have dressed as Hitler. Despite these second thoughts, Shinji selected Konoe to the sovereign, and in June 1937 Konoe became state leader. After accepting office, Konoe spent the brief time frame among them, at that point, and battle with China endeavoring to get pardons for the ultranationalist heads of the 26 February occurrence, who had endeavored to kill his guide. Shinji Konoe held the military and lawful clergymen from the past bureau upon supposition of the prevalence, and would not take priests from the ideological groups, as he was not keen on restoring party government. After 1 month, Japanese soldiers conflicted with Chinese soldiers close to Peking in the Marco Polo scaffold episode. By and by, an agreement arose among Japanese military initiative that the country was not prepared for battle with China, and a détente was made on July 11. The truce was broken by July 20 after Konoe's administration sent more divisions to China, making full-scale war imminent. In November 1937, Konoe established another arrangement of joint meeting between the common government and the military called contact gatherings. In participation at these contact gatherings were the state leader, the unfamiliar clergyman, the pastors of the military and naval force, and their heads of general staff. This course of action brought about an uneasiness for the military, since every part in participation had an equivalent say in policy making. Thanks for watching this video.